Good morning. Yes, we will be talking about today the 5 traits that successful career changers have in common. So I'm definitely excited to be talking to you guys about this. There's some people I've been talking to. A lot of people are wanting to change careers, and so I want to be able to come on and talk with you this morning. Hey, y'all. Hey, John. Good morning. Good morning. So I definitely. Hey, Shelly. Good morning. I definitely do not want to hold you guys long this morning, but I just want to kind of go over some tips about how you are able to make a successful career change. Let me know below in the comments if you are in the process or if you want to change careers within the next year or so. Go ahead and let me know in the comment. And guys, I'm looking everywhere because I'm streaming from LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook right now. So okay, good. Well, I definitely won't hold you guys long. Um, we will go ahead and just pretty much deep dive right into this. For anybody who does not know me, my name is Alicia Perkins. I am a career development coach, and I help high performers increase their impact, income, and influence. This replay will be saved on my channel on YouTube, and that is at I am Alicia Perkins. And so if you are not able to catch the full stream, please know that this stream will be saved for you. And so let's go ahead and just deep dive into what we will be talking about today. Good morning. Good morning. People are still coming. Okay, good. So we do have some people that's in the process of wanting to change careers, and that's awesome. And so that's great. And this live stream is really going to help you guys, for one, to just kind of show you like what is the mindset that you really need to be having when you're trying to change careers, and also how to do it in the current market that we are in right now. So one of the first, traits that successful career changers have in common is that they know how to plan purposefully, right? And so I know a lot of times, people can tend to just wing it, right? You tend to notice that you want to change, but you're not quite sure what that is. And so sometimes you kind of just throw yourself out there and you don't really have a really good plan. And I tell people, when you're wanting to change careers, it's very, very important to make sure that you do have a solid plan. For one, it is going to help you so much up here. Hey, Miss Jennifer, I'm looking to transition out of teaching into good. Okay, well, this live stream is going to help you a lot. And so, when you're changing careers, you definitely need to make sure that you have not just a plan, but a good purposeful plan, being able to really identify what is this next career move going to look like for you. And that's crucial because a lot of times, kind of like I was saying before, people like they're so ready for a change that they just kind of hop out there, right? Because they're like, oh, I just need to like move away from the thing that I'm doing right now. And they really don't know what this next move like means for them. And when I say mean for them, I'm talking about, what do you want out of this next move? Like, what is the reason why you're even wanting to leave the role that you are in? And it could be several different reasons. Like, Alicia, I desire to make more money. Alicia, I need more work life. Alicia, I just desire to just advance, right? And so you really, really need to get clear on what this next move means for you, because if not, especially in the space that we are in now, you're going to find yourself probably back in the same thing again. And so, I know it's a crazy time right now. You're seeing a whole bunch of people being laid off. And, I don't want you guys to start to get afraid of, ooh, should I make this move now? And it's not about you just hopping up and wanting to do something. It's about you being able to create a strategy. Hey, Sean. Good morning. Hey, I remember you, Khalees. Hey, thank you. And so, when you really have a really clear plan, it's really important because it's going to make you guys motivated, right? Because when I talk to people and they're like, Alicia, I am so ready to look for another job, right? And the first thing they say is, I feel stuck. And I say, if you feel stuck, stay off the job boards, right? Don't go overwhelm yourself with, all of these opportunities, and you don't even know what it is that you want. And so if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling unclear, the best thing you need to do is to plan. And if you guys see me looking down, I have some notes here. And another thing I want you guys to understand and realize that, through you having to plan out these this next move, I want you guys to start to think about what are those very unique skills that you have about yourself. When I say unique, don't overthink this, right? I'm just saying like those core skills. And that's really important because you need to know what are you moving on? Like what are the skills that you are wanting to lean on in this next move, because that is what you need to create your strategy plan around, right? It's about you really being able to identify like what do you want to leave behind, right? If you're like, Alicia, I was doing sales for the last 10 years, I don't want to do that no more. Cool. Or even being able to identify if there are skills that you do want to lean more on or even use in this next move. And this is going to take, this is going to cause you to take time to really reflect on your strength, right? Now, I know when you're getting ready to change careers, you scared, you're nervous, you're scared, you're like, I don't even know if there's anything out there for me. And so your mind can start to become bombarded with every weakness that you have, right? With every gap that you see. And all you tend to be consumed with is, oh my God, I feel like I don't have enough. But that's because you're not really, again, leaning on those core skills. You're not wanting to really discover what are your true strengths. And when you're able to get clear on that, it's going to make you feel more confident, right? I'm not saying to ignore those weak areas, but what I am saying is that you definitely need to lean more on those strengths. And that is going to take you being able to reflect, right? So put the resume down, right? And really start to focus on, again, what does this next move mean for me? Who is the person that I need to become in this next move? And just what is the overall mindset change that's going to have to happen for me to be able to see the success that I want? Because I know you guys don't like hearing it, but it really is 70% is mindset. Right now, again, there are some strategies, there is a plan, right? But it is about you being able to overcome those mindset blocks and being able to tell yourself that, yes, I have been effective in this role for so long. But it does not mean that you are starting over. It is strictly meaning that you are needing to now go to that next level. And so when you're able to really identify and discover those strengths, now you have something to build on. But if you keep thinking that you have to keep starting over, you will always feel like I don't have enough. But start thinking about, okay, what is it that I can actually build on, and what is it that I can actually leverage in my next move so I can really position myself as a top candidate. Now, of course, I tell people what overwhelms you is really trying to think about, what is that perfect job title? I want you to really just get that out your mind. Like don't focus on a job title right now, because for one, job titles are all kinds of things these days, right? But I want you to focus on what is the problem that you're wanting to solve that, right? And I also want you to be the current space that we're in. Hey, what is the need right now, right? When you look at the job space, what is the need right now, and what are those skills? And don't think that, these skills have to come at some very expensive cost. The majority of the clients that I work with they were in a process of this, in their mind, it was a big switch, but it really wasn't that huge of a switch. So like the switch wasn't that big, right? Of course, all they looked at first was all of their gaps. But when we really started to identify what was the need for this next move, a lot of times it was simply just a change of company, right? A lot of times it was simply a change of the field that they were in. So I had a client who's working in finance as an actual project manager. She thought that she was done with it, but really she needed a change of field. And so then she moved into technology, right? So again, you don't want to discourage yourself so much that you're not able to get clear on what does this next move mean? Okay. And y'all know I have my notes, okay? All right. Habit number 2, y'all, is being able to take action and overcome fear. Sean said, I am currently changing roles in a career move within my company. And I know they choose me for a reason, just want to be my best performance of. Yes, I love that. I love that. And Sean, I did see, I think you sent me something this morning. I will respond back to that. So habit number 2, guys, is being able to take action and overcome fear. Now, I want you guys to be honest and let me know in the comments if there's anybody afraid of making a switch, right? Or if you are in the middle of trying to change careers, is there some fear there, right? And if there is, first of all, I want you to know that it's completely normal, right? um, Anytime that you are doing something new, it's normal. So I don't want you to think that there's necessarily something wrong, because it's not. The only time it becomes wrong is when you allow that fear to stop you, right? So we definitely want to acknowledge the fear, but we don't want it to allow us um, to actually be stopped. Okay, good. I'm glad you're being honest. I love that. Okay, yes, yes. Okay, okay. Alrighty. And the reason why I want to talk about you guys being able to take action and overcome fear, right? It is essential, right? It is essential that you guys not be afraid to take risks. I mean, and really, this is in really every area of your life, right? But for today, I will stay on the topic that I'm on. But it is essential that you guys be able to really not be afraid to take the risk, because it's the thing, y'all. Majority of the times, fear is just a lot of times based upon the made up examples or thoughts in your mind, meaning that the fear that you feel is not necessarily true, and is based upon something that hasn't even happened yet, right? So why would you want to base your career on a bunch of this could happen, right? And I say that because you don't realize how much money you are keeping yourself from. You don't realize how much growth either. Because if you keep yourself in this sphere of this could happen, and yes, it very well could. You very well could leave the job that you're in right now, and you could go and find something else and it'd be worse. That is very, very, very much a risk. There is fear there, but I am pushing forward with God's help. Yes. Fear of what? I don't know. And John, I'm getting ready to talk about that. I try to remind myself that it's not as bad as it seems. People change careers every day. And I know if it takes this risk, it may be one of the best decisions I make. Absolutely. I agree. Fear of the unknown, not knowing where is the best place to start. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay. And I'm so happy because this is just so on point with all of my notes that I have here. And John, you begin to say a fear of I don't know what, right? It could be a fear of change. There are some people that anytime something has to change, it brings about a fear. That fear could be, I don't know if I have enough. I don't know if this is going to be the right choice. I don't know if I'm wrong about this, right? All of those fears, right? And so it also can be a fear of success, a fear of rejection, a fear of starting over, especially if you've been in your role right now for a really long time and you've been able to gain respect, you've been able to really advance there. Now you're like, oh my God, I have to go somewhere else and start completely over. Right. So it could be a lot of different things. But what you have to focus on is, why am I needing to make this change? And that why, right, has to be more important than the fear, right? It doesn't matter, for example, you can say the job that I have right now is keeping me from my family. I haven't been able to spend time with my wife or my husband or my kids. I never have any time for myself, right? And so you say, okay, I know this is the reason why I need to find something else. But every time it comes down to you actually putting forth the action, you tend to stop. And so that alone has to be able to tell you, I tell myself that this is something very important, but the action that I don't take proves that it's really not. And that's where we have to become honest with ourselves, because we can tell ourselves, man, I love my family, right? It doesn't mean you don't love them, right? But you can say, man, this is really a huge deal for me. I need to be able to spend time with my family, or you can really use whatever example there, right? But if you keep letting fear stop you, your actions show to you what really is important, right? And that's when the whole being self-aware comes into play. I talk about on every live stream, being self-aware. And so you have to start to be able to identify, is the goals that I have, right? and the actions that I take, are they aligned? And so I think if people would be more honest with themselves, they can really spend more time being able to really overcome these things rather than just keep lying to themselves, right? Or keep almost pacifying themselves. And be honest, right? And say, man, I'm scared. It is a normal emotion when you are having to like uproot yourself and move to something else that you don't really know a whole lot about. It is completely normal. But at the end of the day, you have to begin to ask yourself, what is it costing me to not make this move, right? What is not happening in my life because I'm in this job right now? It could be paid. You could be like, I need to be able to provide myself a better lifestyle. I have things in my life that I want to do, have kids, a house, whatever that may be. And if you know that your current role does not support that dream or that goal, then you can feel stuck. And so it's not so much about what is the fear that I fear. What it really is about is what is the action that I'm supposed to take, because the more action that you take, the more confident you become. And it's what people don't realize. Like, you cannot think up confidence. It doesn't fall out the sky, right? You're not like, okay, all right. Be more confident. Be more confident. No. Action produces confidence. And the more action you take, the more that fear will subside. It may not, just all the way leave, but the more that fear will subside, and the more that mind change starts to happen. Because when you take action, you will start to see some kind of result. And when you can see a result, that's going to say, okay, all right, I'm on the right track. But if you're trying to think about, be more confident, friend, it's not going to happen, right? And I tell people, small steps is better than no steps at all. I'm going to say it again. Small steps is better than no steps at all, right? And so don't think about, man, how am I able to get this job? Think about, how am I able to just get started looking for the job that I want, right? How am I able to just move away from what it is that I am doing right now? Baby steps, yes. Don't think, okay, in the next 6 months, I have to have this new job. No. Start small. Say, okay, in the next 30 days, what I want to do is I want to be able to really get clear on what is the core values that I have. It doesn't have to be 30 days. It just really depends on how aggressive this is for you. You can say, okay, the next 2 weeks, I need to be clear what my core skills are. Right. And so the next 2 weeks, when you get clear on those core skills, say, okay, in the next 30 days, I need to have a list of at least 30 to 40 prospect companies that I want to work for. All right. And then after that, and then you start building and building. And before you know it, you might even have a job before the 6 months, because you're not focused on just the end goal. You're focused on the action that will bring you to that end goal. Right. So I don't want you guys to keep trying to discourage yourself and keep thinking, oh my God, like you put this timeline in your mind. And I do think timelines are good, right? Because it's really important to hold yourself to something. Because a lot of y'all been saying, okay, in the next, no, this right here all the time. Oh, I really hate my job, Alicia. Right? And you find yourself saying that for 5 years, and you're still there. It's been 5 years, right? But that's because you're more focused on, you desire to just fuss and complain rather than, again, putting in the action. So I do think timelines are really good because it holds you to something. Because if you say, okay, around June-ish, okay, right, and it's May, and you know that you haven't done nothing, it allows you to have some kind of like compass. But the great thing about timelines is that they can be moved, right? So having a timeline is not something that it keeps you boxed in, but it holds you accountable to something. Because if you keep having to push that date back again and again and again and again and again and again and again, right? Now it's time to really examine some things. Okay, I get more so overwhelmed with the whole process of changing careers and shut down, right? And the reason why you guys get overwhelmed is because you don't have an actual process. It's because you don't have an actual framework. It's because you don't have a plan. So what happens is you end up just kind of spamming all these applications, right? And you're not getting really clear, right? And so look, I'll say this: if you guys want to make a change in your careers, send me a DM on let's do it on LinkedIn, the word change. Okay. I have something. This will not be on my website, right? This is not something that will be advertised all over the place because I only have a few spots for this, right? Okay. DM me that, right? All right. So, and I was talking about fear. And no, what was I talking about fear? Oh, I was talking about the reason you get overwhelmed is because you don't have a solid plan. And you're not sure on how to align the skills that you already have, right? And you don't know how to express the value of that skill set, right? And how it relates to these new roles. Because a lot of you guys, you have transferable skills, but that is like my next trait that I really want to talk about, and it kind of like aligns so well with this, is that you guys, you don't realize how much value you hold, right? And you don't know the power of the skills that you already have. Because people, when they think of a career change, they think of, okay, what do I need to add? You start to go look at courses online. You start to think about, okay, is it time to go back to school? You start thinking about all this stuff that you can add, though you already have a skill set, but you're not clear on that skill set and you don't know how that skill set fits in the current job market. And so this is why you always feel like I don't have enough, is because you're not clear on the value of what you already have. And so it can start to get overwhelming, right? Because you are like, okay, I have to be able to have myself seen as the best fit, right? But you don't even know what the fit needs to be or what the fit is. And people will automatically X themselves out for jobs that they see online because they say, "Oop, I don't have experience in that." Without even really getting clear on what is the process or what part of the process does this role play in the overall success. And it's important to get clear on what is it, or what are the problems that particular job role solves, right? Because I was in HR for over 10 years, guys. I hired for thousands of positions. I've done thousands of job interviews. When you see a job ad, right, just because a certain skill is on there, right, it does not mean that if you don't have that particular skill that you are not qualified. It's up to you to find out how much of this skill is actually used on a daily basis, and how much of this skill is really how can I put it? How much of this skill is involved with this role, right? Because sometimes some skills are only 10% of the role, right? There are some expectations of the role that's only performed maybe 15% of the time, right? And so this is the case where you definitely want to lean on your strengths, right? Being able to identify what are the core skills needed, the core skills, right? And being able to identify how much of my skill set actually supports this role. So not just trying to read through the job ad and just say, oh, I don't have that, I'm done. No, let me get clear on what is the true need for this certain role. And so you're not always Xing yourself out without having enough information. I tell people, if you feel stuck, if you feel discouraged, if you feel like I don't have any options, it's simply because you have not exposed yourself to enough information. That is simply it. You have not exposed yourself. So what needs to happen is you need to start to get new information so you're able to make new decisions. And so if this live stream is helping anybody, and so habit number 3, guys, is being able to leverage your transferable skills. I know you guys have heard about transferable skills like forever, right? But people know, okay, yeah, so I know that I can use my skill, but people don't really understand what is actually happening, right? In order to be able to identify those transferable skills, it's going to be crucial. For one, you will not feel like you are starting over, right? Two, um, you can fill gaps with your transferable skills. And for anybody who does not know what that is just skills that is used in a wide range of roles, such as management, such as problem solving, such as leadership, right? Just skills that are used in a wide range of roles. And then another thing, let me add this in there. When you are wanting to change careers, do know that they do have to like train you on something, right? So, or they should be having to train you on something. So, again, it kind of frees you from that mindset of thinking that I got to have everything, right? Or if I see one particular thing that I don't have, then that automatically means that this job isn't a good fit. Because that's the thing. If you are looking for a job that you are always 100% qualified, like you already know how to do everything, where is the growth going to come from? Like, how are you supposed to grow? You know what I'm saying? If you always want to look for a position that you already know how to do, right? And so this is the mindset, again, being able to define what does this next move mean for you? Right? If you want to be able to expand your skill set, if you do want to be able to move into a role that is going to stretch you, right? Then you should be trying to look for jobs that may be a little bit of a challenge, because I will say this, the most qualified person does not get the job. I'll say it again. The most qualified person does not get the job. I've hired for thousands of positions. The most qualified person does not get the job. The person who gets the job is the one who can paint the best story of their expertise and how it is going to be able to serve them, how it is going to be able to solve their that gap that they need filled, right? It's the person who can articulate their value the best. So all this time you spend trying to go take a class online and spending thousands of dollars to go back to school, right? Spend that time sitting down and getting clear on the value that you bring to the job market, and spend your time trying to perfect you being able to express the value that you have, right? So once you are able to clearly paint a picture of, hey, this is the problems that you guys have, and this is how my skill set can solve it. That is what gets you the job. And it's why you hear people say all the time, man, I have all this experience, but I just can't seem to land the job. And I tell people, if you are getting callbacks, and let me say this, if you're not getting callbacks, your problem is your resume. If you're not getting job offers, the problem is your job interviewing skills. Again, if you're not getting any callbacks, so if you find yourself like, I'm applying, Alicia, I'm not getting any callbacks, the problem is your resume, meaning that your value is not being articulated well on your documents, right? So as they're scanning through, they're like, okay, Matt, it doesn't mean that you are, you don't have the experience. It's just not being shown here. And so, but if you're going through the interview process, you're like, Alicia, I am getting callbacks. I am getting to, my third one or that fourth step, but I just cannot seem to land the job. It is how you are articulating the value that you have. And it's probably also you are not being able to connect with the person that you are speaking with. Because if you find yourself going through the whole, I've heard that these days, like the hiring process, like 6 and 7 different interviews. And I'm just like, this a lot, right? So the more that you go through the process, the less it becomes about your experience. Because if they called you in, they saw something. In my 10 years of hiring, I never called somebody in that I could not see myself hiring. Now, there were a few gaps there, like, okay, yeah. Okay, so from this point on, this person tends that they look like they have everything that I need, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call them in because I really need to get the full story of their experience, right? Now, if you go in for that first time and they move you on, the experience is there for sure. And so, and then that's why I said, if you're not getting job offers, it's two things. You are not being able to express the value of your skill set and how it helps them, or you're not being able to connect with the person that you are speaking with. Somebody said, yes, I just went through 4. Right. Right. And so again, the more you go through the process, the more it's about you being able to connect with the person that you're actually speaking with. This is why people get so overwhelmed with the whole interview process, is because they're just overthinking it. It's not your job to go in to the process and make them hire you. The interview process is not about you giving the right answer. It's about you having real answers. And once you get that mindset, all of that, oh, I'm so nervous, oh my God, that is going to subside. Because you're like, I just need to go in here, tell these people how I can help them, and then everything else is on them. I'm telling you, with my clients, I teach them interview strategies, right? And it has nothing to do with being able to craft the perfect answer. It's about you being clear on the value that you bring to them. Again, you closing the gap between what you have and what they need. That is what the whole process is about. And if you can't do that, you will never get the job. Somebody said, I need help on articulating my skill set. I can, okay, good. And like I said, if you guys want to change careers, DM me the word change. I have an offer going on only in the back end, right? And I want to help people within the next 30 days land their role. Alrighty, so again, you really need to get clear on what are those transferable skills. And one is this info is so necessary. Yes. Oh, thank you. And you know what, Sean, really makes me upset that they don't teach this in school. Like, it amazes me how we learn so much useless information, but how to maneuver through the job market, like, they don't teach this, right? And I have schools that I'll do workshops and stuff on, and they're like shocked at the information that I share, because I'm like, yeah, because this information that y'all giving is outdated. This information that's being shared in here does not work anymore. So yes, Sean, I definitely agree with that. Okay. I'm going over my notes. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So yes, with these transferable skills, you guys definitely need to be sure that you are taking inventory of your skill set and knowing what is the value that you add in the job market. And y'all, let this process of changing careers be exciting, right? And I know, like Alicia, exciting, girl. I am stressed. Let it be exciting, right? So don't look at it like, oh, I don't know what I want to do next. Start to say like, oh, what do I get to do next? Right? I'll say it again. Don't look at it like, oh, I don't know what's next. Start seeing it like, oh, what do I get to do next? Have fun with this. Have fun with you being able to transform your skills and change the way that you've been showing up at work, and change change in how you serve. Like, explore with this next phase. Like, be excited about this next phase. Be excited. Like, man, like, I get to change the way that I serve, or I get to change who I serve with my skill. Like, oh, like, what opportunities could come from this? Like, what growth could come from this? What money could come from this, right? So if you give yourself the opportunity to be able to see this as like, ooh, like this is a transformational part of my life, all of that stress, all of the overwhelm, right? It won't be so huge. So start to really change how you guys just start seeing this. So far I went over 3 habits. I went over how you were able to use the skills that you already have. I talked about another trait is being able to take action and overcome fear. And the other trait is being able to plan purposefully. Trait number 4, guys, is being able to be adaptable and open to learning. Okay. It is going to be crucial if you're changing careers that you need to be able to adapt and be open to learning, especially in the job market that we're in now. Y'all, it's constantly changing. Like literally, like from like 2 years ago, like look how much has changed, right? So it's always evolving. It's always there's always new trends happening. So you're definitely going to be able to you need to be able to evolve and adapt. So all of this, I don't do that. Ooh, that's too much work. Oh my God. Networking. I remember, folks talk about, they remember how, you just hopped on Indeed and you apply for a job and the next day, you already heard, you know, things back on it. But that's not how it is anymore. Right? It is going to take more work. I didn't say it had to be hard work. I didn't say it had to be a lot of work, but it's going to take more work. And so if you're not willing to adapt, if you're not willing to change and evolve, you will be left behind. Right? And so now it's not the people with the most experiences that land the job. It's the people that think outside the box. Is the people that's not afraid to go that extra mile. Is the people that's not afraid to start those conversations. Those are the ones. Right. And so, again, think about this season as you being able to get out of that comfort zone. Think of this as a season of growth, right? And really allow your own self to evolve. And again, I work with people that are wanting to change careers all the time. And they be scared at first. They have all of these doubts, all of these concerns, all of these. And I said, all we do is plan for the risk, but we don't avoid them. We plan for the risks, but we don't avoid them. Because I say it all the time, you are worth the risk. You are worth it every time. So we don't run from risk, we plan for them, right? And so when you start to develop a growth mindset and you start to embrace new opportunities to learn, right? And to really explore what is out there, that is going to shift this process for you. It will get you results faster. Because I know right now you're like, Alicia, girl, everybody getting laid off. Everybody losing their job. How can I say I want another job when folks can't keep their job? First of all, that has nothing to do with you. Nothing. Yes, we are very well aware of what is happening around us, but it has nothing to do with your path, right? And there are a lot of people out there who needs jobs, but there's only a few who's going to do the work. There's only a few who will become the person that they need to become to land the job. There's only a few that will actually move outside of their comfort zone, right? But God, okay. Look, I tell people, with the recession, with everything, I'm like, what does that have to do with me? Like, my faith is not in that. I'm sorry. If you want to keep on reminding yourself of all the people getting laid off in the recession, hey, but me, my faith, my mind, the attention is not on that. Now I do have to be aware because I run a full-time business. So I do watch the news. I do see what is happening, right? I'm not stupid, but I don't plan off of that, right? I don't plan off of that because my faith is not in what other people says. It's in God. And so when you have some kind of belief system other than what everybody else is doing, you're going to find yourself you know, more secure, more sure, because my success is not determined on what is happening with everybody else. What they got to do with me? Okay. And I'm not saying that I don't care about the other people. I very well care, right? Because it does not feel good to be laid off, right? But even the people that are being laid off, what do you need to do differently? Folks are scared to death because they have been in a role for years and have not thought about themselves, have not kept their page online updated. Resume has not been updated in years. So now you are thrown into the job market out the blue and you're afraid. Not haven't went on a job interview in years, right? Because people get so focused on performing at work, doing the tasks. They're so focused on bringing results forth for their employer that they have forgotten about themselves. And you should never do that. Hey, go to work hard. I work with high performers, right? It's in their blood to exceed expectations. It's in their blood to, you know what I mean, to outperform everybody. And it's not because they have the desire to be all that. It's just who they are. So the clients that I coach, they go hard in everything that they do. There's nothing wrong with that. But you got to go hard for yourself first, right? So don't ever let it be to where you are in a position and you haven't updated anything in 2-3 years. No. Right? Right? No. And I say this all the time. Go on a job interview once or twice a year. Even if you don't want the job, go on interviews a couple times a year. Keep that skill fresh. Because now people are being thrown out and they are terrified because they have not maneuvered this job space in years, right? Keep building connections. So if you need a job, opportunities are already there. But folks, they want to learn how to network when they need a job. That's the worst. Nah, I'm not saying it doesn't work. It's the worst time for up here. Because you're like, Alicia, I don't want to sound like I'm just desperate. And because you put yourself in a position to where you only want to build relationships when you need something. So of course, having to network is going to feel sleazy, right? Because you do need something, right? But if you learn how to build connections when you don't need anything, you can literally be laid off and be like, okay, all right. Let me call John. Okay. Sally, know her. Okay. You already got those relationships built because you've always been thinking about your success. Right. And so, I don't know how I got way over there. Okay. But the moral of the story is, even if you love your job, be looking out for you because you are not irreplaceable. I see they post articles and they make posts about how to become irreplaceable at work. You will never be irreplaceable. And as long as you think you are in a very dangerous zone. Yes, become proactive and not reactive. Yes, exactly. Right? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. All right. So that trait number 4 is being able to adapt and being able to be just to stay open, like to really learn. And then habit 5 is being able to embrace perseverance. I want you guys to embrace it. I want you guys to embrace resilience, right? Because again, it is a tough job market. I'm not gonna be here and be like, oh, Grace ain't nothing. No, it's a tough job market. It is. But probably 50% of your problems would leave if you got this right first. But the job market is tough. Thank you. Right? It's very, very, very tough. But when you start to have the mindset of, look, I know what it is that I want. I know that I am worthy of what I want. All the other stuff, it doesn't matter. So now it's not a if this is going to happen, it's a when this is going to happen, right? Because you know that I'm doing the work and you know that it will pay off. And so I want you guys to get comfortable with being able to embrace challenges, right? And use those as opportunity for growth. And don't be afraid of setbacks. There are some people who maybe have made a bad choice in their past, like, oh, girl, I picked the wrong job and it did not work out. So now they have this fear of, I can't really trust myself because the last time it didn't go good. And so, but you don't use, like, you don't want to use those past experiences as a reason to not move forward. All right. What you want to do is maybe say, okay, what were the red flags that I missed? Because there were some. Right? Why is it that I stayed so long? Right. And so, I had a client I was working with, and she was in her position for like 15 years. And she's like, Alicia, what happens if I leave this job and the next one I pick is horrible? I said, well, then you'll just find another job, right? Because the power that you are seeking is not in finding the perfect job. The power is in you realizing that I can make a move. The power is in you realizing I'm not stuck, right? The power is in you being able to realize that I can find another job that sees the value that I have. So if you are in this search for this perfect job, friend, you will never find it. But if you start to embrace your career and say, hey, just like I found this job, I can find something else. Now you won't find yourself, for one, starting to accept stuff that you don't deserve. Two, you won't find yourself in jobs that you have outgrown a long time ago, because wait a minute, like, do you know who I am? And I'm not saying it like, oh, I'm just all that, but start talking to yourself like that. Right? Wait a minute. Right? Like, don't think that, oh, I'm just so happy that you guys hired me. Oh my God, thank you so much. No, you guys are blessed to have me. And I'm very excited, and I'm very excited about this opportunity. Right. I see people all the time. They're so excited, you know what I'm saying, when they get these jobs at Google and Facebook, like, oh my God, they hired me. Friend, they are blessed to have you, because they're hiring you because your skill set solves a problem for them. Right. So do not operate in your career like, oh, just hire me. Please hire me. No, you have a skill set. You can solve a problem for them. You fill gaps for them. Right. So this is not no favor. They're doing you no favor by hiring you. This is no favor, right? This is a transaction. I'm solving a problem and you paying me, right? And so when you start to think like that, you like, wait a minute, I got a little bit more control in my career than I think that I do. All right. So guys, that's it. Okay. Like I always say, Alicia, your live streams, they need to be 30 minutes or less. Y'all always go an hour. Because when I'm on here with you guys, I really just want to like pour into you guys and really just share everything that I can with you guys. And so my live streams tend to do go a little over. And I tend to have a desire to over deliver every time, but that's just because I really want you guys to get help. FYI, y'all, the replay is saved on my YouTube channel, and that is at I am AliciaPerkins.com. Remember, if you're needing help changing careers, I'm trying to tell you, DM me. Okay. DM me. I only have a few spots for this. Thank you, Michelle. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And if you guys have, ever have any topics that you want me to talk about, let me know. I also have a podcast called Career Revamp that drops a new episode every Thursday. Y'all, I put out so much content. So much content. So much content. And so if you so please go ahead and subscribe to that as well. And also, if what I also have is my tribe. If you are not a part of my tribe, please join my email list at careert.me. I'm doing a lot of things around here, right? But I did tell myself that I want to be very intentional about how I serve this year. You may not see me as often, but you will see me. But this is, yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so if you need help, if you want to change careers, send me a DM. I'm telling y'all, do not miss out on this. Send me a DM, okay? Also, if you want to work with me one-to-one, I also have options for that as well. You can go to IamAliciaPerkins.com to find out more information on that. What else do I have going on? Also, if you want to see how your personality is affecting your career, go to IamAliciaPerkins.com/quiz. That's IamAliciaPerkins.com/quiz. So do you guys have any questions? Any questions? Oh, thank you. Y'all are so sweet. Y'all are so sweet. I said, do you have any recommendations on places to network? I think it really depends on what is the goal of you wanting to build relationships, right? Because I do think that you need to be strategic because you know I'm pretty sure you don't have time to just to want to connect with like random people. So I think it's, because there are like a few different reasons as to why you can build relationships. There are some relationships where you just want to use them as like an actual resource. So let's say that you do want to change careers and you're not really sure what that particular role all involves. Start to connect with people that hold that current job title and start to have conversations with them. Say, hey, are you able to tell me the top 3 problems that this role solves? Right? Are you able to tell me in order to break into this field, is the top priority who you know or what you know? Hey, are you able to tell me like how long like was your actual job search? Like you're using them as like an actual resource to gain the information that you need to decide whether or not that's a job that you want. Also, if you, because I always say it's easier to focus on who you want to work for other than what is a job you want to do. I think it's just a more like is you tend to get results faster. Just think about what kind of company you want to work for. Then you definitely want to really start to connect with people in there, right? And we talk about networking. It's not just about it is a process. And that's why I tell people don't wait until you need a job, right? Because it can take time. I'm not saying you got to take 6 months, but I think the more clear you are on why you want to connect with people and the result, that helps. Of course, I am going to say LinkedIn as number one because it's just that's what LinkedIn is. It's a networking site. But I know that if you go online, you can find different like Slack groups. Another thing is if there is any like events in your areas for folks in your field. So you got to kind of think outside the box. But I definitely would say start on LinkedIn because it's just like everything is here. Thank you. This was awesome. Okay, what's that link again? The link for which one? I dropped the link for the careert.me. Was that the one you were talking about? Hold on, let me see. Okay, so I said that the replay was going to be shared on YouTube, and then I said that if you want to join my tribe and receive content from me every week, you can go to careert.me. That was a link. I think I shared careert.me, and I think that was it. Oh, and also remember, guys, if you want help, send me the DM change. DM me change, guys. Why is that on? Okay. Oh, yes, that's IamAliciaPerkins.com/quiz. If you're on LinkedIn, if you send me a DM, I will just shoot you the link straight over. Yeah. And so do we have any more questions? Where is it at? It's right here. Okay. Yeah. So that's IamAliciaPerkins.com/quiz. And you're able to see how your personality is affecting you at work and how you are really showing up at work. Okay. I'm so glad. Okay. Alrighty. So we are right at an hour. Hold on. I want to make sure I answer. Oh, thank y'all for dropping it in the link in the chat for me. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. Okay. I'm just scrolling through the questions. And the media will always make things seem worse than they really are. They only focus on the large companies. I just said this, and I wish I can say your name. But for some reason it's blocked, so I can't see it. This is so true. When it comes to all these people being laid off, right? We're only hearing about these big companies. So it's seeming like it's a lot. But I'm like, y'all, people are still hiring. Like people are still hiring. So don't let Oh, because Amazon or Facebook or Salesforce, these are big companies. And that's why all y'all who love the FANG companies, you always want to run to the big companies. I've worked with clients and they not all that they cracked up to be. Oh, Tisha. No, okay. So if I can't see your name, it's probably because it's some kind of setting that you have. Yeah. I was typing it. I'm telling you, like, people want to be so focused on these big companies, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, I love me a good mid-sized small company. I'm like, yes, that's where it is. But yeah, do not let this fear of what's happening, right? Because I do believe, and I'm not no conspiracy theorist. Am I saying it right? Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say. But I do think that a lot of this fear is manufactured. I do, right? Because I just do. Like I think the news kind of puts stuff out there in a certain way because they do, right? And then especially if you're on LinkedIn and you like, man, all I see on my feed is, well, who are you following? Especially if you only following 500 people, friend, you're following a very small percentage of the world, right? So I don't want you to discourage yourself. And if you have to, like shut the phone down, turn off the TV, right? Get focused on your goals. That's the key. Get focused on your goals. Like, don't be so focused on what's happening with everybody else around you. Focus on the goal, right? Right. Yes, exactly. Because, like I'm saying, like I had my client. She just changed her raise and got a $60,000 raise like 2 weeks ago. Like, people are still hiring. Just this last year, altogether, I helped my clients get I think raise like 376 grand for last year. Right? We're like mid February, and with my clients that I'm working with, I'm already at 125 grand. It's just February. Like, y'all, companies are hiring. And I just helped the client that I'm working with. She's in the process of wanting to change careers, but I'm all about, let's milk them while you're here. Let's milk this job. So as you're trying to make the plan to move out, you can leave in a good spot, right? So I just helped her get a $49,000 raise in her current job. And so it's like, yep, there are some people that are being laid off, but there's also employers that are paying their people to stay, right? That are paying their people to stay. And there are people that are hiring for top talent, competitive pay, right? Thank you. This is giving me so much confidence for my next. Sarah. Jennifer, keep me posted. Please let me know how that goes. I love to switch from instructional design to user experience design. Those benefits you missing sound awesome. Yes, I'm telling y'all, people still hiring. Like, do not let these streets have you scared. Where can I find the mid-sized companies? Lavina, oh girl, that's a big question to answer, right? Because it really depends on a lot of different things, right? I would definitely say to start off with focus on an actual industry first. I tell people start big and then zoom in. And then Lavina, us being women, us being Black women, it is so important to know who we are working for, right? So I would say get clear on the values that you have and find an employer that aligns with them. Like, I don't even know if people even think about the values that they have anymore, right? We will literally spend more time looking for a show on Netflix than we will researching companies. I don't understand it. I don't. Like, you getting ready to spend, and Lavina, it's not for you, girl. You know me. I always go off the bar. This is a place where you're gonna have to work for like 40 hours a week. You need to know who you're working for, right? Start having conversations with people who not only work there, but also who did work there, right? And so yes, that's why I say focus on who you want to work for, not what you want to do, because when you focus on who you want to work for, you can always see the roles that they hire for and align your skill set with the jobs that they have. Focus on the employer. The employer. In the other forum, you spoke about seeing what's available within your own company. I did just that. It's awesome because I'm already familiar with the company while we're taking on the vision. Yes. Like, so many people are ready to move on and you haven't even explored the opportunities at your current job. What are the current opportunities? Like my client, she was so ready. She's like, I'm just bored. I'm ready to go. I said, when the last time you asked for a raise? Oh, it's been 2 years. 2 years. I said, oh, no. I said, it's time to ask for a raise, right? And I'm not talking about no 2 to 3% raise. I'm talking about a raise. She got $49,000. Now, granted, I was like, then, because y'all know that y'all could have been paying her that, but that's okay because she leaving anyway. But y'all know that y'all could have been paying her that a long time ago. But again, you don't get what you asked for. I mean, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you asked for. So I did feel a little way about that, right? But I'm very excited for her. So true. Thank you. I feel like Inspector. Yes. And like, and with like, I know people look at Glassdoor a lot. I got feelings about them. You know, they not all the way bad, but sometimes you can't always trust Glassdoor. I'm not saying like all the reviews are not true, but I know that it's like a trend for people to kind of run off to Glassdoor when they're like upset about something. I don't know. I just feel like use Glassdoor as a resource, but just don't let it be the main resource, because like you don't even have to prove that you work there either. So it's like anybody can just go and throw stuff up there. So all right, closed mouths don't get fed. Okay. But okay, let me stop because I can literally be on here with y'all all day. Okay, so I hope you guys feel served. Again, if you're needing help in changing your careers, DM me change. Okay. Also, I believe though that is all the questions. Well, until next time, I'll see